Nice.
Walking all the way down there.
Thought it was going to take too long, so I cut it off.
Brilliant. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are you born?
How you doing?
How are you born? Have you born?
Hello, Bon.
Not enough coffee today.
Welcome to Alvarez TV. So,
What are we doing today, mate?
well, today, mate, we're talking all about guitars. This is a good episode, this. I like this.
That's a bit different for us, isn't
It's
it?
a bit different for us because we're now
Talking
talking
about
about guitars under $500. $500.
Our favourite Alvarez. And why, I guess.
And why, yeah.
That should be a good conversation.
It's a good conversation, I think, because there's so many guitars under $500 that are actually really good anyway. I know it's easy for me to pick mine because
Because it's your guitar.
because I'm consistent and I pick the same guitar all the time, you know. But interesting to know what you guys are into.
I was interested in what you were going to choose. I think I knew what I was going to choose straight
Okay.
away. Probably for different reasons than maybe you did. But I was wondering, because these are solid tops, they're all in our artist series,
Yeah.
I thought you might have gone for a GA, Grand Auditorium.
Oh, no. I went for this. The I'm going to give you the name off the top of my head. AF60 SHB.
Yeah. Round of applause.
I play them all, right? We've had this conversation loads. And I've played my Yairi FYM 70 all the time. And for me, for, well, I don't know, 1/7 of the price, this gets you a fair bit of the way there. Different backs and sides, and laminate back and sides on this.
It's got a
Shadow
really
burst
good
finished.
top on it, actually.
It does. And I quite like the shadow burst.
Yeah.
I'm normally just kind of like wood colour.
Yeah.
But
Natural.
natural, but this gets you a fair bit of the way there.
So what do you say it doesn't get you? So this is about, what, $450 or something?
You'll know better than me.
$400 and something dollars. Your Yairi would be $3,000 maybe.
$3,000, yeah.
What doesn't that give you?
What you're missing is kind of that uniqueness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very certain that I could play the next one of these that comes along. You know, I've probably played one of these before, and I'll probably play another one again. And they're uniformly good and very good for, like, you know, someone who starting out or whatever like that. The Yairi has got just
Depth of tone.
depth of tone. It's
So
in its
all
own.
solid.
You can tell it's completely built by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about a guitar that's built by hand that means it's just got a bit more character, a bit more zing about it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is great.
Would you gig with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think it's kind of come across now. I'm not precious about, and same with D, like, and you, like, none of us are precious about how much it costs.
Yeah, same
Most of the
here.
things I pick up, I don't know how much they cost. You had to send me the sheet of prices so I could choose the guitar I wanted, because I would have just chosen one that I thought was about that price. Doesn't matter. The Yairi, I prefer the rosewood over the Honduran mahogany, even though the rosewood stuff is less expensive. This is great. I would play a gig with it. It's solid. It stays in tune. It sounds good, and it feels good. It feels good. It's good to play. So it gets you.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks nice, and it gets you a fair bit of the way towards that guitar.
And the reason you chose an OM was just that you're
Like
a
them
converted
now,
man,
yeah,
right?
I'm a converted man.
You were a dreadnought guy.
yeah,
And like, you've just
become,
OMs all the way.
Yeah, love the way they feel. Like, I like the way, the thickness,
Yeah.
the depth, and I like how I
Comfortable.
can kind of just, I don't know, seems to just
Draws you in a bit more.
Yeah, so that's me. That's me with OMs.
I think he's in love now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
think I was
official.
ever an OM guy, but now I am.
You've changed.
You changed, man.
D, we knew what you were going to choose.
I'm just banging the same
So
drum all the time, aren't I?
predictable.
You know,
Honestly.
just wheel me out. I'm just the 66 guy.
Mahogany parlour.
It's just great. I just love it. It's just the guitar. I like the. It's just got. I think it's the.
good one. Actually.
This is a particularly good one. I mean, we've tried loads of them. I mean, Tim's makes a very valid point. They are consistent, aren't they? Because of the way that they're built, you know. And the Yairis do have. There's a noticeable difference. More I mean,
variance,
our
yeah.
two guitars are quite different, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that, in general, it's just the size, the projection, the note that it produces is great, and I like the look of it. I think it's. I like these 66. We've been doing loads of stuff recently, little reels and other things, and I think this is my favourite of all the artist series. And I would normally gravitate towards a wood. You know, I like a natural looking guitar, but And I'm not so fussed on the bling. I'm not so fussed on the on the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
So this, I think the black binding is it contrasts really well.
Dark mahogany
it's
look.
just understated.
Yeah.
And but more than anything else, the action's great. It's got a really nice. It's nice to play. It sounds great. It's a sitting on the sofa guitar. All day long we're playing guitars and we're doing stuff, right? And if I'm upstairs recording, you know, if it's something, whatever, even outside of this, I'll use one of the Yairis, you know, either my old one, the same one we have, or the one that we have, you know. And for recording, you can't beat those guitars. They just sound wonderful. But for most of my downtime playing, it's just sit in front of the TV, you know, or whatever, or just sitting, you know, chatting. And I've got this guitar in my hand, so I always gravitate towards this thing. And I don't care whether it costs $100 or $500. It doesn't. It means nothing to me. It's just the feel of the guitar. And I've picked up a few of these, and they're all very consistent. So yeah, that's my tip. Is the.
It's funny how the price not being. I mean, obviously you would hope you're going to get more of a responsive and designed and articulate and accurate instrument. But actually, these days you can get really good guitars. I mean, not just us. Many people are making great guitars for the money.
Yeah.
Remember when I bought a guitar at EBGB's? Like, you didn't know about acoustic guitars back then. You know, response and resonance and all that sort of stuff. I can't remember ever thinking about that. But these days, like, everybody sort of knows what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The information age, right?
Yeah.
We all have a lot of, well, this is what we're doing, aren't we? We're providing detailed, in-depth analysis of stuff. And
that's probably just made everybody make better instruments for the money, which is great.
What's yours in there?
I love this guitar. In fact, it's probably my favorite guitar because this and a DYM 70, when I started out, like 12 years ago, I was learning, sort of spent time with William making guitars, and then going into a factory environment is very different. So like whatever you learn in a workshop, trying to transfer that into a factory is like, oh, I don't know anything. I was going between China and Japan all of the time. I was designing two guitars, a DYM 70 and an AD 60, and to try to find bracing systems that worked. So we were doing a lot of the bracing system in the Yairi. And then when we came up with FST2, transferred it into our more affordable products in our Chinese factory. And my thinking back then was have an Alvarez sound. So whether you went from an artist to Masterworks to a Yairi, they all sounded similar but better as you went up. So we had our own sound was what I was trying to achieve. And I travelled with an AD 60 for probably a couple of years. Sometimes I would travel with 6 AD 60s with different bracings. I remember I think I was in Japan, I checked in 6 guitars, like a master carton of guitars, to take them back for testing. And they just checked them in. They sent you to the large luggage thing. They didn't charge me. It was like, wow, great. And then I would travel to stores with it, and I would put them in people's hands. I would say, what do you think of that? And what do you think of this? And obviously people would pull something down, or we used to compare it against many dreadnoughts. It was just like an informative period of my job, really. So a DYM 70, obviously they're great. That still has an FST2. We have moved to an FS6 on this. But I think sound-wise, for a dreadnought, for $400, hard to beat this guitar.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I played that yesterday amongst, I don't know, I probably played, we did a video with 18 guitars yesterday, right? Like one after the other. From all the kind of, everything from the Chinese factory. And that was one of the best sounding, and certainly not one of the most expensive.
Yeah.
So
it just sometimes, I think in a handmade environment, you can do different bracing, or you can approach an instrument in an individual way. When you're making 150 or 200 a day, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You've got to design the instrument, and then you've got to try and achieve the quality of the design of that instrument continually. So therefore, there is design in the prototype, or the finished pre-production samples, what we call them. And then the rest of the design has to be in production to achieve that day in and day out.
Yeah.
So you would design all the systems and the processes that allow you to achieve the original design guitar, which is, it's manufacturing. It's like design those systems, even the tooling, that I started to learn, and Roger taught me a lot. The tooling, the CNC, the learning coordinates and programming, all that sort of stuff, which I don't know, but I was part of trying to achieve the finished product, is the biggest challenge in this factory. Where in Yairi, you still have that designed instrument that you're trying to achieve, but you have more freedom getting there on each individual one.
But what you end up with here is a consistency.
Good, consistent
across
product,
the board.
yeah.
Interesting that we've all chosen
Different
mahogany.
shapes.
Yeah, different shapes, but mahogany, back and sides. Was that a choice, or was that just because you would have chosen the 60 or the 70?
I like mahogany.
Yeah.
I mean, we use really high quality laminates, and our laminates are matched inside and others. So we use Kaya mahogany, African mahogany. I'm not a big fan of Sapele just because it's a great tone wood. I just, at this level, you get those sort of stripes running through Sapele.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks nice and sometimes it doesn't. So I prefer Kaya, which is an African mahogany. Looks nice, sounds good. Definitely even at laminated backs and sides, if you make them at this level, you can hear the difference in between the back and side woods. But yeah, I mean, you've chosen all mahogany.
All mahogany.
That really sounds open for a small guitar.
It is
with a mahogany top. So open for a little parlor. Yeah.
It does sound good.
It's great.
It's sweet. It's really sweet.
I'm really inspired by it. I've written about 10 songs on this guitar.
Yeah. But anyway, I think good that we've chose different shapes, different colours. Oh, well, because of the wood top, but and a parlor, an OM, and a dreadnought. All of these do have FS6. This one, I think the position is slightly different.
Right.
Because of the scale length.
Yeah.
But slightly further back. But ours are very forward, so the X is very close to the sound hole. Nice and responsive for solid tops. And in Artist Series is endless choice. In fact, it keeps growing, that line. We probably need to get our hands around it.
We were saying this when we did artists. We were talking about artists last week or the week before, and there is
I don't know how many models
incredible amount of choice.
70 or something.
It's a lot.
In just one series. Whoops. Never mind.
You just keep on going.
Yeah. Hope you find your top choice, and we'll catch you next time.
Brilliant stuff. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.